Looks like it's better quality today, Claire. Better quality than usual for when we go in the car. All right. Oh! Oh! Don't record the speedo. Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. Today is one of those vloggy days. We're doing another studio upgrade, but this is something that I wanted to share with you guys for a while. We put it a little bit on the back burner, but kind of hard to come by. Basically, like these giant telescopic poles that we can use to rig. Whoa, there's a Maserati up there making lots of noise. Basically, they're these massive telescopic poles that we can use to make our own lighting grids and basically mount things any way we want, but we need to go and pick some up. So we own 2 of them already. We're using one in the studio. We didn't talk about this in the video, but we're getting 2 more so we can fully kit out the studio, and the filming table that we use for like all of the videos and builds and whatever, we're replacing that with, you guessed it, another Omnidesk, also on wheels, but the smaller size that Omnidesk makes. So when we're building, we can like move around and like do stuff easier. It doesn't have wheels, so we wanted a nice and easy solution. But first, we need to head on over to Photoshop Studio in Ashfield to pick up these auto poles. So come along with us for the ride, and then we'll obviously do the rest of the studio upgrade. But you know, it's a nice sunny day out in Sydney, which is unusual for this time of year. So let's hang out. I ordered the set of auto poles this morning online for pickup, and they're usually really good with picking up and stuff, and like there's nothing against these guys. They said that I was literally just about to call me to tell me that the last time that we came here to pick up auto poles, we cleaned them out of their stock. So they said that at the end of April we'll get more in, but we've still got one that we haven't used that actually still does exactly what we need to do for this video. So it's not all is lost, but we didn't leave empty-handed. So we bought an Aperture Amran 100X the other week, and I think I might have talked about this in a video somewhere, but the power supply died after having it for like 2 weeks or something. I didn't buy the light from here. I went to another place called Camera Pro. I got it online, but I'm going to call them out. They're completely hopeless at replying to emails. I emailed them 2 weeks ago. No response about trying to warranty the power supply or the light or whatever. So I went into our friends at Photoshop Studio, like they know us, and I said, hey, these guys haven't responded to my email. Can you order in another power supply? Because when we were here a few weeks ago, or last week or whatever, to pick something up that we didn't talk about, if you need it, we can order it in. So instead of them ordering it in, they got a box. They opened up the box and they ripped out the power supply from a brand new one, and they gave it to us for a very good price. Have a nice day, or thank you, right? We didn't leave empty-handed, because now we've got a new power supply for our Amran. Then we can use one of my favorite lights again, even though I don't know why the power supply died. Hopefully there's no other issues. But in saying that, we're gonna go home and start building some stuff. Hey, Claire.
Yeah.
Here you go, Claire. Here's a present for you.
Close your flaps.
That was actually pretty funny. I want to show you guys a couple things. So this here is basically where I organize all the screws and stuff for every build. So I never use screws that come with the cases. I have multiples of everything, but this one is the one we've been using for a couple of years. It's starting to overflow, and I even put stuff like M.2s and stuff and some CPUs in these. So what I decided to do was to get more granular with the way we divide our screws. Usually like it's a type of screw per drawer, but the tubes of thermal paste go in here, and then the bigger tubes go in the next one down, and blah blah blah. Different types of spigots and stuff for camera mounting gear goes in here. There's a drawer of like just Allen keys that we use for mounting and rigging cameras. So all of this stuff is now getting organized. However, let me show them this, Claire, right? They're gonna laugh at this, right? Look at this. See this here? That's my toolbox, but it's like every tool that I use to mod stuff. So there's like tin snips, random screwdrivers, ratchet screwdrivers. That's blades for scalpels. There's a random tweezer. The reason why we're filming the next day is yesterday we went to Bunnings and we're like, yeah, sweet, we'll go and buy this thing for $200. It's going to be perfect. We get there and it was terrible quality.
Oh, it was bad.
It was terrible. It was too small. Even though we'd measured it, so I decided to go for something today. What we are going to do, because I've already spent the money, is I'm putting in a tool chest here, and I'm not just going to put tools in it. I'm going to see if we can put our RAM trays and stuff in it too, just to keep everything a bit more well organized. Because the part of the studio I hate looking at the most, and this is the part that's in videos almost the most too.
So what you're saying is you like a well organized screw.
Claire's behind the camera. I'm pulling the hardest face not to be laughing her ass off right now. She's like. So we went with the Tool Pro 26-inch 3-drawer tool chest. This is on clearance from Super Cheap. We went to a couple Super Cheaps around to find this thing. And the only reason why I got this as well, because this one was selling for like $150 or $149. It's going to do the job. Much better quality than the other ones. And listen to it. It already sounds better, so...
Bargain.
There's still so much to do. We've got to build a new table. We've got to do all that stuff. I want this done today.
Okay.
This video's been going on for way too long, and now I'm going on for way too long.
Well,
so let's get into it.
We've got to
What?
we've got to get to screwing.
Yeah. Keep rolling. Someone said the other day in the comments, I didn't reply, but I was like, ooh, Nick's getting laid tonight.
That's
Because of
rude.
your new desk.
No, they said someone's getting some, and we did. We got some chips.
They were banana chips.
Yeah.
Not real chips. What do you think?
We got something. It wasn't what they thought it was. Shoe check.
Yeah, shoe check.
Shoe check. Nick.
I'm wearing the same ones again.
Nick's got his New Balances on.
These are my next pair of skate shoes that I'm wearing in. Go check out my skateboarding channel. I uploaded a new video. It's really bad, but I did some technical maneuvers, but all basically first try, which is, I mean, you may or may not care, but you know. But I want to show you guys what I did with the tool chest, because this was the idea I had. A lot of what we had before was there was RAM trays sitting on the top and just CPUs and boxes and stuff. What I've done, and I've done this on purpose, I didn't want this to open all the way up, but on the top level, if we look in, we've got all the RAM in RAM trays, all organized. There's some floppy disks in there because I sometimes do use floppy disks, but shout out to my homie Chammy, who works in a data center, who walks past the garbage bin every now and again and sees RAM trays in the data center. He's like, hey dude, you want these? I'm like, yeah, okay, hook it up. So shout out Chammy, you're a legend. I'm gonna mount a magnet up here, so when I do this, it's just gonna hold it up. When you have this closed, it locks the drawers, but I opened all the drawers and then closed it, so then it's like the drawers are perpetually open. Put some rubber feet underneath it to lean the drawers slightly on an angle so they don't slide out by mistake. So anyway, in the top drawer, I've got all of the tools that I use for building, which is how I want it. I want to be able to reach over, because obviously I build like right there. I want to be able to reach over, grab a tool, and the idea is to put everything back where it belongs when I'm done with it. We'll see how that goes, Claire.
Yeah.
So that's the first drawer. The second drawer is an interesting one, and maybe not what you're expecting, but will change. I mean, the layout will change, but it's the CPU drawer. I've already got Threadripper tray, probably cut it down so I can have 3. This is all the Ryzen stuff. This is not all the chips. This is just the stuff that I use. But what I'm going to be doing, and I keep asking people to do this, and they keep just not doing it, is 3D print some CPU trays for this drawer here. So I could just, pull the drawer out, grab CPUs, put them back in the trays, blah, blah, blah. So I don't have to have all of these plastic holders everywhere taking up unnecessary space. But yeah, that's the plan eventually. And then lastly, the bottom drawer is some of the bigger stuff. So like just little toolkits and scalpels and shifting spanners and tin snips and measuring tapes and stuff. And this RAM tray. Now this RAM tray periodically gets full, but it's for all of my DDR, my SD RAM, all the old stuff that I tend to do when we do projects with much older computers. So I just keep this separate because I don't have that much old RAM floating about anymore. So that's basically the tool chest. And now it's not just rubbish laying everywhere, it's super organized. At the start of the video, you probably saw, which was yesterday, we went out to try and get more of these auto poles. And like I said, they were out of stock, but you can see what they are here. They're basically a friction pole that mounts from wall to wall, and this one can go up to 3.7 meters, which is whatever many of feet that I put on screen right now, but it's a lot. Because we don't own the house as well, we don't want to be drilling into the roof or the wall or anything to build a lighting grid. So this is the next best thing. See this light here? This annoys me, and I want to be able to change the height of this light, not just rely on jankily using a spigot mount to the side of these shelves. So I'm going to put an auto pole from the floor to the ceiling, and the ceiling is very, very high here. That's kind of what I like about it. We're going to put another one about here that goes all the way across again, because we're going to build a very interesting and very cool lighting grid in here. It's going to be awesome. But let's install the other auto pole and I'll show you exactly how they work.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice.
This is the, what's the brand? This is a Photolux auto pole. Now there's heaps of brands that make these, like Manfrotto and a bunch of others. The Manfrotto ones are the most expensive. There's another brand, I forgot what they're called, but they're much cheaper, but we can't get them here. So it's a tension rod. You see, so see this handle here, basically you lift it up and it allows you to slide the pole up and down, right, like that. That's rude, Claire.
Are we going to have to put a warning on this
No,
video?
it's okay.
Not for children.
Not for children. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold the pole. I'm going to push it up, right? And basically, like, you might be wondering, actually, what's the point of this? You don't need a tripod for certain things. It doesn't take up any floor space. And then once you get it to the height that you need it, you lock it, and that's it. Look at that. Nice strong pole. Then you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that's all well and good, but how do you actually mount things to it? Using super clamps. So this is a super clamp with a spigot, and then when I say super clamp, this thing is like a super duper clamp. Basically the way this is going to work is we put the super clamp on the pole, right? And I'll just put it on loose for now, just so you can get an idea of what we can do with it. Then we have like these RGB LED panels that we use. And there's a couple ways we can then mount them. We can put it straight on the spigot, like that, and then lock them off and have, let's say, that range of movement, which is probably the way that we're going to do it, because if I loosen up the panel, see, we can move it that way. We can then rotate it, move it that way, or whatnot. And I can move it out of the way in the sense that if I'm filming and it's going to be completely in my way and we don't want it to be in shot, we can just be like, we don't have to use C-stands, we don't have to use like floor light stands, none of that, just super clamps to mount stuff to it. And it's even got umbrella mounts, so even if you wanted to like mount those umbrella soft boxes or reflectors, you can mount reflectors and stuff to it. And if you want to go horizontal, you can use super clamps and hooks to mount full paper backdrops and stuff like that, kind of like this ghetto system that we built that actually works beautifully. And I know that like we do a video like this maybe once or twice a year where I get really excited about studio upgrades, but this is the first time in a long time that I feel like the upgrades that we're doing are more useful because of floor space. Now, whenever we have people and other YouTubers and friends and whatnot who have never been here and seen the setup, what's the first thing they always say, Claire?
Oh, it's smaller than I thought.
It's really, really small in here. Look.
Yeah, it's not that wide.
That's literally me almost touching both sides of the studio, so it's not very wide. We don't have a lot of floor space in here, and awesome inventions like this thing here, they just make it a pleasure to work in here, just getting stuff out of the way. That's not the end of the upgrade. We've got another Omnidesk to go in, and it's going to be replacing this table. Now, the Omnidesk that we're going to put in is the smaller size that Omnidesk makes. It's a little bit deeper than what we've got with this table here, but we're putting it on casters again so we can roll it around. One of the bits of gear that we use to film stuff is on a tripod that is a complete pain in the ass to move around, and it's going to be easy because now I can set the tripod to a static height forever, and I'll just change the height of the desk, not the tripod, so I don't have to kill my back every time I need to lift a bit of the rigging gear that we use, which is just stupidly heavy. It's flipping time. Got Andrew here giving me a hand. I think we're gonna go that way and try not to put on wheels. And I've just got to catch the controller because I'm not attaching the controller yet because I don't know where I want to put it because this is a filming table. I don't want to see it. All right, so we'll just lift it straight up, and we should just be able to this. Now we've got. Just lift it straight up. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. That's it. It's flipped. Good enough. Now I guess I'll clean up a bit first. What are you doing?
Rolling my eyes.
What are you doing? It's been an entire week since we actually finished all the upgrades. Now, we've had to film other videos and do other stuff in the middle of all of this, and we kind of just time jumped and we were like, oh, we'll finish the video. Let's just show you the last thing. Obviously, we put in an Omnidesk. Yay! Now, this is the 1.2 something meter Omnidesk, but I did a couple things with this one. It's kind of different to the other ones, and I'll show you why I did the things, and you're probably noticing it already with the controller, because in the last part I mentioned that I didn't want to have the controller mounted in a place that you can see. So what I actually did was I put one screw in, right, and this is kind of ghetto but kind of not. So I have the one screw in the controller here, and when I want to hide it I just do that. I don't want to see the controller. Bam! Look at that.
Amazing.
Really, really amazing. And that's basically the upgrade. Now there's a couple other little doodads that we did with this upgrade too to the desk, but this is kind of stuff that we showed in the other parts. But look at that. So now we can move around, and now I'm ejecting Claire from the studio, and because this table is a bit more narrow, look at that. I can go around. I can be like, what up, fools? Except that it's on a low setting. I mean, Claire could probably change it to an appropriate height. Couldn't you, Claire? You could do it, right? I said appropriate height. Down, down, down. In the little cubby hole that we've got here, I've actually set the power board up right here, so if I need to plug stuff in, I can literally just plug it straight in. But this desk traditionally only uses one cable, and that's to power a PC. And the power
Excuse me?
got this. So we've got this hole in the table. It's a little slit that flips open, and a power cable comes out. And yeah, that's how we plug it into the PC and to power the computer to do the videos. The only reason I'm laughing is there are so many outtakes to this part of the video that are not appropriate for YouTube. So I'm trying to keep a straight face. It's just not working, ladies and gents. And that is...
Stop wiggling.
Like the cat.
Wow. And
that, ladies and gents, is our... Let's call it our March 2022 studio upgrades, I guess. It's probably going to be more stuff by the end of the year. Probably. Hey, we're pretty bad with upgrading, aren't we? We do it too often, at least twice a year. But this one I think is going to last for a while, because we've actually, like I mentioned, we filmed a couple of videos already and shot B-roll with this new table and everything. and it is so much easier just to do everything. So once again, as per usual, shout out to Omnidesk for hooking us up with this desk. We've got one more Omnidesk video coming in April, Claire.
Ooh.
Where we're going to be upgrading my setup. This guy right here in April. If you guys want to get yourself your own Omnidesk, click the link in the description and use code GearSeekers at checkout to grab yourself a sweet deal and discount on some Omnidesk stuff. Right? And that doesn't just include the desk, that's like all the peripheral stuff, like the monitor stands, and they've got holes they cut in the desk, Claire, right?
Really?
And the holes have like motorized things that can lift out of the desk.
That's pretty space age.
That's pretty sick. I'll put links to everything that we use to do this upgrade so you guys can get an idea of things you can do in your own setup if you're doing YouTube, or if there's other little things that we did with like the auto polls and stuff that you want to do for your own type of setup, because you can use this stuff for like not YouTube purposes, just for anything really. Anyways guys, I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. What's the line, Claire?
Look at the graph.
Oh yeah, look at the graph. What comes after looking at the graph? But they got to look at it for a while, right? So let's just sit here, give them time to understand what these terrible people have been doing who don't click the subscribe button. Ooh.
It's not very nice.
Ooh, they're horrible humans. Just click it. I know you sit there and watch all these videos. I can tell. The analytics tell me, and the graph tells me. Don't be one of those people. Look at the graph. What else do I say at the end of the videos, Claire?
So your mates.
I've literally never said that.
Oh, what you said to me yesterday.
What?
BRB queen.
I did say that to you. I did actually say that to you, eh? BRB queen. I'm such a good
It
husband.
made me laugh.
Did you actually laugh when I said that? BRB. I literally walked out the door and go, BRB queen.
I'm like, ooh, I'm a queen.
Yeah, you're a good lady. What I was trying to get you to say was, you peak.
New sheets.
I mean, that works. Watch some of the stuff over here. There's like a couple things around that you guys can watch. It's a pretty good blank wall. Claire has to hold her arms up for 20 seconds. So, like, it actually has the outro cards.
Do I have to?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Look, no hands.
Your fingernails are pretty.
No, they're not.